Mr. Limata. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Limata, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Limata. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Limata, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing. Good morning, and welcome to Story Time. Thank you so much for joining me today. Happy Thursday. This week is already gone, already done. It is Thursday today. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. And yeah, sometimes weeks just feel like they've flown by, and this one feels like it is doing just that, especially when it's close to finals week. Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime, and I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you could join us for an important topic that we'll be talking about today. I cannot wait to share this one. Coming back to Storytime for the first time or since 2022 July. So good to bring this one back. It was about time, and yeah, cannot wait to share this one, and I hope that you enjoy it. And of course, if you've seen it before, I hope that the story comes back to you and you remember just how good it is. Thank you so much for joining us here today on Storytime. Absolutely appreciate you, and remind us too that on Tuesday, we did read On a Summer Night, this one written by Deborah Hopkinson and Kenneth Pack, and it is out on May 14th. So you got the exclusive right here on Storytime. And please, please, please do ask for it at your local library. Request it with your librarian, and of course, find it where you find books. Thank you indeed for joining us here on Storytime. And it is Earth Week this week, so please remember, set that goal. One thing that you hope to achieve, achievable goal, we must say, that you hope to work towards this year, indeed, in helping our planet. Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime today. But today we do bring you this one, the Fox and the Forest Fire, coming right up. Thank you indeed for joining us here on Storytime today. And we will be reading that one with permission of the publishers, Chronicle Books of San Francisco. It is written and illustrated by DANY, former firefighter. Thank you so much for joining us here today on Storytime. Who is here this morning ready to enjoy Storytime live? Thank you indeed for joining us. How are you doing, Megan? Good to see you here. Sunny Kentucky. I hope that fox is all right. I hope so too. Thank you indeed for joining us here on Storytime. And Ari, thank you for joining us as well. I hope that you're having a wonderful day out there in Kentucky. And to everybody that's joining in, whether joining us live right now or indeed joining us later on for the recordings, thank you for making the time to be here with us on Storytime. And yes, we will make it worth your while. We'll bring amazing stories from amazing creators, and I hope that you get to enjoy them every single time here on Storytime. And of course, you can always go back and check out the many wonderful stories that we've read in the past. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Kathy, good morning to you. How are you doing? Thank you for being here. Sunny Ohio as well. Even though it's sunny out here in the Bay, it is going to be cold. The last few days have been cold, actually. There's a couple of days, and today promises to be that. I think we're looking at a high of about 60. Don't laugh. It is cold for us here. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time. Absolutely appreciate you. Please get ready, get cozy, get comfortable as we will be reading our story after this short break. The Fox and the Forest Fire coming right up. Chronicle Books of San Francisco, DANY POPOVICI. Thank you indeed for being here with us. Get ready, get comfortable, get cozy. I'll see you on the other side of this very short break when we're back with more Story Time.
Hey, this is Timothy Goodspeed of the Soapbox Salute. I'm the one who wrote Storytime's theme song. If you'd like to hear more of my protest folk music, you can check out the links below on Instagram or at my website. You are watching Storytime with Mr. Limata.
Welcome back indeed. Thank you so much. The Soapbox Salute, and of course, he serenades us every morning, right, with the Storytime theme song. Thank you indeed for that wonderful, wonderful piece. It's Timothy, and of course, appreciate you so much. And if you want to check out Soapbox Salute, please do so at soapboxsalute.com and get to see all the amazing work that he does. Thank you indeed for being here with us on Storytime today. I hope you're ready for this wonderful story. Thank you for joining us. The Fox and the Forest Fire, written and illustrated by DANY POPOVICI, and we are reading this one with permission of the publishers, Chronicle Books of San Francisco. Here we go. The Fox and the Forest Fire, written and illustrated by DANY POPOVICI, read with permission of the publishers, Chronicle Books of San Francisco. I wasn't sure I would like my new home. Why was that? I wasn't sure I would like my new home. Have you moved recently? How was it? Do you like your new home? I wasn't sure I would like my new home. Nights are too quiet. I wasn't sure I would like my new home. Nights are too quiet. Mornings are too loud. How is it where you are? I didn't think I would like my new home. Nights are too quiet. Mornings are too loud. What can we do to help? I hike with my mom. My pack gets tangled. I trip over rocks and a bug flies into my mouth twice. I don't like this place. No. I didn't think I would like my new home. Nights are too quiet. Mornings are too loud. I hike with my mom. My pack gets tangled. I trip over rocks and a bug flies into my mouth twice. Ugh. I don't like this place. Oh, I hear you on that. Look at all of that. I think I like this place. Yeah. Hi, Fox. In time, I discover there are a lot of things to do in the forest. I study bugs and the plants that house them. Yeah. I build rock dams where small fish can rest. Yeah. In time, I discover there are a lot of things to do in the forest. I study bugs and the plants that house them. I build rock dams where small fish can rest. And there are new friends to meet. Oh, you play here too. Yeah. And there are new friends to meet. Oh, you play here too? Yes, I do. Yes, there are new friends to meet. Oh, you play here too? I sure do. Oh. I feel welcome in my new home. Yeah. I hope that you feel welcome in your new home, in your new neighborhood, in your new place. I hope you feel welcome where you are. I feel welcome in my new home. Then one morning, it's strangely quiet. I see a plume of smoke off in the distance. What's that? What could it be? I feel welcome in my new home. Then one morning, it's strangely quiet. I see a plume of smoke off in the distance. Can you see it? I hurry to warn my mother. Then one morning, it is strangely quiet. I see a plume of smoke out in the distance. I hurry to warn my mother. And I wonder if we will ever see our home again. I hurry to warn my mother. And I wonder if we will ever see our home again. I wonder if we'll ever see our home again. Even after late season rain, we have to wait a long time before we're allowed to go home. Yeah. Even after a late season rain, we have to wait a long time before we're allowed to go home. Our house is gone. But we are safe. Yeah. Even after late season rain, we have to wait a long time before we can go back home. Our house is gone, but we are safe. Hmm. While things don't look like they did before, the forest knows what to do after a fire. Yeah. While things don't look like they did before, the forest knows what to do after a fire. And so do we. Oh, yeah. Wow. It may not look like it did before. The forest knows what to do after a fire. And so do we. And that is the end of our story today. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. I hope that that gets you thinking, and of course too you see the resilience, the ability to rebuild, and yeah, so much that happens. Our communities are devastated by these forest fires that happen, but we can see too how we can play our part in this, making sure that if we're out there camping, make sure that you clear out everything else, follow the guidelines, stick to designated areas for burning or other activities. So for sure, we have a part to play in this, and let us follow those guidelines, whether we're at a public park or indeed in our own private spaces. Follow those guidelines to remove brush from near the homes, and so much more that we will do. So we'll come back and read the author's note after this short break. Thank you for joining us for our story today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it gets you thinking. I hope it gets you to appreciate your home even a little bit more. Thank you so much for joining us here today. I'll be right back after this short break.
Hi, I'm Charlotte Chang, co-author of Bobo Loves Dumplings, Bobo's Colorful Chinese New Year, and Night Market Rescue. And this is Storytime with Mr. Limata.
Yes, welcome back. This is indeed story time, and I hope that you get to enjoy it. I hope you've enjoyed the books that we're bringing you so far this week, and of course, the books that we've brought you over the years. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Let us go into the author's note of our book today, and this one is called The Fox and the Forest Fire. It is written and illustrated by DANY POPOVICI. Let us see what he has to share with us today in the author's note. Here we go. Author's note. One summer, many years ago, I had an opportunity to be a part of a forest firefighting crew. It was only then that I learned to appreciate spending time in the woods, surrounded by nature and animals, able to see thousands of stars. Until that point, as a city dweller, like our main character, whom I call Oswald, I hadn't even been camping. Everything changed that summer as a new world opened to me, right in my own backyard. Even though I no longer fight fires, I still spend a lot of time in the forest, hiking, camping, and looking for a good lake to take a swim with my dog. More recently, an uncontrolled forest fire raged through the gorge, an area between large hills near my home. The air was so smoky we had to stay inside. I couldn't help but think of the forest animals, their homes, and where they could go to be safe, because the smoke and the fire endangered their homes. They had to flee closer to the city, often finding themselves in residential backyards. No longer part of the forest firefighting crew, there was very little I could do, so I decided to write and illustrate the book that you're reading right now. And more about wildfires. Wildfires are an unsettling sight, especially when they get close to communities of people. Like Oswald and his mother, it's important to get as far away from a fire as possible and let the firefighters handle the situation. But it's good to remember, while a burned forest doesn't look like it once did, it will rebuild itself. It might be hard to believe, but in the right conditions, a naturally occurring forest fire can actually benefit the forest by helping it grow bigger and stronger than before. When fires occur naturally, they can help eliminate excess debris and decay from the forest floors. That overgrowth can prevent some animals and organisms from accessing the important nutrients and sunlight they need to thrive. Fires also clear out invasive species that compete for nutrients that could sustain a healthier native habitat. Forest managers try to reduce overgrowth and invasive species while preventing wildfires from endangering communities by allowing controlled burns that are monitored by trained professionals. Still, too many wildfires are caused inadvertently by human activity. Wildfires are also made more common by extreme weather and our changing climate. So it's vital that we take action to protect our environment in order to ensure thriving, healthy forests for generations to come. And I think that is key right there. I'll read that one more time. It's vital that we take action to protect our environment in order to ensure thriving, healthy forests for generations to come. Yes, we need to take action. We have a role to play. Ask, what can you do when you're visiting forests or indeed national parks and everything else? Read the instructions. Ask the rangers there what to do. What are the do's and don'ts in that area? How can we make sure that we keep those spaces safe? And remember, too, when we go there, we're bringing our trash with us and so much more. So make sure that when you're leaving, you take that with you as well. Put it in designated places. Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime today. The Fox and the Forest Fire, and of course thinking of all those communities that have been affected over the years by fires, forest fires, and different disasters, and hopefully they get to rebuild and come back stronger. And please remember, we have a role to play in ensuring a better place, a better planet, a better environment, a better neighborhood. Thank you so much for joining us here today on Storytime. Absolutely appreciate you. I hope this book has inspired you to take action and, of course, has enlightened you on forest fires and the role we have to play. Thank you for being here. The Fox and the Forest Fire, written by DANY POPOVICI, and we were reading it with permission of the publishers, Chronicle Books of San Francisco. Thank you for being here with us today. Yes, indeed, the moon, Follow the Moon Home, is coming back to Storytime tomorrow. So join us for that one, written by Deborah Hopkinson. And we cannot wait. And Felipe Cotigny as well. So please come and join us tomorrow for that amazing story. Thank you for being here with us today. And I hope we learned a thing or two. I hope we enjoyed that wonderful story as well. Heartwarming indeed. And seeing that even though some things may be lost, whether in disasters or fires and everything else, but there's some things that just can't be taken away. And like the book says, everything was gone. It did not look the same, but they were safe. And we hope that you can remain safe in your communities. And we appreciate you. We love you. Thank you for being a part of the Storytime community. Let us see who was here this morning enjoying that wonderful story. Thank you, Megan, for joining us, and glad you're here with us this morning. Thank you for being here joining us from out there in sunny Kentucky. Thank you indeed for being here today. Absolutely appreciate you. Ari, I hope that you've been enjoying your birthday week. Thank you for being here with us on Storytime as well. If you're joining us later on for the recording, thank you for being here. Storytimewithmrlimata.com, Storytime with Mr. Limata on Facebook and YouTube. Find us at the time that works best for you. Thank you indeed for being here. Kathy, good morning to you. Thank you for joining us here on Storytime. And you're out there in sunny Ohio today. I hope it is continuing to get warmer and nicer, and all those blooming flowers out there for your enjoyment. Thank you indeed for being here with us on Storytime. And Kathy, must mention too, thank you for the very, very thoughtful gift that came through. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Cannot wait to go and use it. Thank you indeed for being here. Absolutely appreciate you. To everybody that was joining in Storytime this morning, whether you're here live or indeed you join us later on for the recordings, we love you. We appreciate you. Hugs to you. And I will see you again tomorrow when we're back with another exciting story. And tomorrow we'll bring back Follow the Moon Home. Yes, let's follow those books home. Thank you so much for being here with us today on Storytime. And remembering too that Marietta Apollonia's brand new book is out, Wombat and the Family Tree. Do ask for it at your local library. And of course, we featured this one that is coming out on May 14th, and this one is called On a Summer Night. It is written by Deborah Hopkinson and Kennard Park, and this one will be available on May 14th. It is available for pre-orders right now, so find it where you find books. Thank you indeed for joining us here on Storytime. This has been Storytime for today. It is Earth Week, so please remember to set one goal of what you can do to help the environment. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate you, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Big hugs. Bye-bye.
Story time with Mr. Limata. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Limata, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Limata. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Limata, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing. The stories come with people who look like me, others very different from the way that I look and think. Read me all of the stories. Read me all of the stories. Some stories from far away, others right here in my neighborhood. Story time. Ooh. Story time. Story time with Mr. Limata. He will be starting soon. Story time with Mr. Limata, where all your dreams come true. He brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing. Brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait.